your product skills and what you can build with just some simple knowledge without even really going deep into it. All right, so can I just see a show of hands or maybe some feedback from me? How many of you here are interested to build a startup that you can build once and scale forever? Okay, we have two over here, and maybe anyone from online. Oh, okay, awesome, fantastic, right? So awesome. So you're in the right place. This is what we're gonna be doing today. So why this is different? Because it's no theory. I only work on real world projects. I'm an actual practitioner. This is what I do every day in my career and my job. And no daddy's money involved, which means I don't rely a lot anything at all on VCs or having to beg someone for money. You can do it yourself. You can do it now, and this is how you can do it. Today's sharing will be very focused on a strapless perspective of building a tech startup. My goal for today's session is to show you the unique way to build a tech startup and diversifying your risk in product development, and showing you that the best way to build product is by understanding there is a proven way to do it properly. Okay, so who is this for? This is for you if you want a job in product, if you want to build your own tech startup, or if you don't want to spend years and a lot of money on the wrong idea. This will be for you. By the end of today's session, we will understand step by step what it takes to build a lean, mean tech product and to deconstruct how real-world tech startups are built. Okay, so hi, just a quick introduction of myself. My name is Derek. I am an ex-VC. I worked in venture capital for a while, and I am a self-taught coder. I left my job in VC in 2019 to then code myself. I have 5 years of experience since 2019 in tech education and recruitment, helping students get jobs. I'm the founder of Malaysia's top coding bootcamp. We have over 300 students today from all over the world. We have students from UK, Germany, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, quite a few countries. I bootstrapped it from zero, from scratch, with no external funding, to 80,000 USD per month in 2 years. And right now, I'm working with hundreds of students through their job application journeys. I've designed, developed, and shipped $700,000 worth of full stack software for clients. So I know what it takes to build software. I know what it takes to build product. And I've also been featured. Some of my products have been featured on the press as well. So that's me. 4 years ago, right? After graduation, I graduated in 2019. I went into VC. I didn't enjoy it. I felt really lost in life. No skills. I didn't know what I really wanted. So VC, the whole industry is where you have to. People come to me and pitch to me. It felt good, I just sat there. People came to me and like, hey, Derek, come, please, 90 seconds of your time. Let me pitch you. It felt really good, but I felt like it was a false sense of confidence because it's not my money, number one. And number two, I was just working there, right? And like, I don't get to see, and if we did give a check, we didn't get involved in the process end to end. We didn't see this person building their startup from scratch all the way forward. Right. So in the end, I said, I wanted to be the guy building the startup. So I left my job in VC, learned how to code, which is very difficult. I put it one line here, so it sounded simple, but it's a whole topic on its own. So I learned the code so I can build my own tech startups. Right. The idea was this: I could build my own tech startups and make money just with my laptop and with the internet, make money like that. Right. Or worst case scenario, if my startup failed, I could just get a job somewhere. Tech is paying very well. So that's my mindset back then. But I was completely clueless. After learning to code, I've also hired people and I spent over 500,000 plus ringgit worth of mistakes investing in the wrong people and the wrong product. And today, this talk, we will try and run through how you can avoid these mistakes as well. Okay, my journey in product, I can show you. This is not the entire list. I didn't have enough time to finish up this slide, but I have built 7 tech startups in the past, right? Having the skills to build is a blessing and also a curse. A curse because I just keep on building nonstop. Having some cash flow is also a curse because I just keep building without validating my idea. So today, I want to make sure you guys, on top of building it cost effectively, it's how do you make sure to not build on the wrong thing in the first place. That's very important. So quickly run through, I built Startup Forest, which is a entrepreneur networking kind of thing, right? Where it's like a Tinder, but for founders. Meet your own. It failed because we didn't have enough funds. PathWatch, we spent 2 years on it. It's the premise where, education, there's so many good materials online, don't need to build materials anymore. So we are building the Wikipedia for courses. Also failed. Define Jobs is another job matching thing where it's a Tinder style thing where we match jobs to people. Also failed. What's in progress now is Codio. It's a mobile app for you to self-learn how to code. You can try it out, right? You can just search it up online, you see it. Next thing is Jobier. We're still building it now. We are raising funds for Jobier because this is going to change the whole job seeking experience where all you do is upload your CV and automatically we will have you apply to 200 jobs per day. right? And then all you're gonna do is sit for the interview, and even during the interview, we have our AI tools that helps you solve the interview and give you the answers for video interviews, right? So these are the things I'm building now. It's fun stuff, but you see a lot of, and the list of fail is gonna be a lot more than just 3, but I did have no space on this page, right? So I just put the most memorable ones. And in terms of software clients, I also built, developed, designed, and deployed 3 full stack software clients. These are the ones that are 7 figures plus, high 7 figures in total, building all these products. One was an authentic sneaker marketplace where we help people buy, sell, and bid shoes. Another one would be Carmine, where we help people buy, sell, and bid used cars. I was working with Family Office for this. And another one would be Menu-Based, which is an F&B expense automation software as a service. Right. So I built quite a few software products. I've seen people burn money, and I myself have burned money into it. And I hope you guys don't have to repeat this. What I'm building at the moment, I don't want to confuse you, but I'm only building a few things. Sigma School, which is the coding school that helps you learn to code in 3 months to get a job in tech. That's my main hustle. Sigma Studios is the software development arm where we help clients build software. Codio is the self-learning mobile app, and Jobier is the job application automation. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in.
Sorry.
No worries. And I'm also building my YouTube channel at the moment, right? So this is what I'm building, and it's just the start of my journey, and I am happy to share my journey and my learnings with everybody. So remember, it's always part of the journey. You got this. Always remember, right, that suffering is necessary in order to find meaning in our lives. So I would say, going back here, right, this is showing a nice example of where I'm at right now, right? 80,000 USD in monthly recurring revenue for the past right now, right? $700,000 worth of full stack software clients, even in fact more than that, right? So yeah, but the point is you would never get to that level without going through some form of suffering. And in my case, it's burning a lot of money on software. It's leaving my job and spending 1 year completely unemployed to learn how to code. So this is suffering. And I would say suffering is the only thing that can make you grow, because without suffering, you're gonna take life easily and you're gonna enjoy life. So you need to suffer. So if you're suffering right now, if any one of you here is suffering, please know that suffering is necessary. This is from Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, right? He said he has only one advice, which is, I don't know how to teach resilience and success. All I know is I hope and I hope suffering happens to you. It's the same thing I say to my brothers. So when they ask me what to do in their career, my brothers are now graduating from university. They're very lost. I say, bring yourself to a path where you have to suffer. Because only by suffering, you will think, you start thinking and bring yourself out of the loop. Okay, so this guy is worth $104 billion. And it's his number one advice to everybody. Before we start, okay, so that's all for my intro. Before we start, let's get a feel for the room, right? We have 3 people here on site. Thank you so much for coming. Honestly, I came all the way for you guys because I was like, okay, even if it's one guy here, I'm gonna come because I promised that I'll be here, so I'll be here. And for those of you joining remotely, if you can on your camera, that'd be good. Really helps me with my motivation. I want to do my best with my sharing. So if I can see your faces, I would appreciate it a lot. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Kamalesh. Okay. So let's go through a round of it. Oh, yeah. Okay, come join Slido first. Come. So you can scan this QR code and just let me know how you feel. Right? I'm here feeling super energetic, super pumped, but maybe some of you are like, oh shit, long holiday, I'm still in holiday mood. So I want to know the mood overall. And yeah, so scan the QR code and try and fill this up. Very nice, very nice. Oh, all morning. Anyone in a sad mood? Don't worry, I don't judge. I don't judge. Just to be honest with you, it's always good. Right? As startup founders, I'm quite shocking. Usually, startup founders will be a lot less happy, but you guys seem to be a very happy crowd, which is good. Which is good. Okay, are we done? I can't see how many people are in the video call. Samira there. Okay, thank you, Sam. We're all okay. No worries. I guess look, 41%. Okay, look, let's put it this way, right? Almost 80% are 9 out of 10 and above. And yeah, that's amazing. So let's continue. Now it's time for all of us to get to know each other a little bit. So please, in 1 minute, please just quickly on your camera, on your mics, and share with me where your name, where are you from, your uni and your course if you're from a uni. I'm not sure if you guys are from uni, and your startup name and what you do in 1 sentence. So just 1 minute. right? As startup founders, we're gonna pitch very quickly. So in 1 minute, let me know. Maybe we can start from the on-site, the people in the office.
Start from Q.
Okay, then.
Okay, hi.
Yeah.
Yes, hi. My name is Rabia. I'm from Autosys Generators.
Where are you from?
Auto-
Where do you stay?
okay.
Tempat tinggal.
From Serdang.
Serdang.
Still
Okay.
Serdang UPM. So university is University Putra Malaysia. The course that I am taking is actually design informatics. Name is AI. Autosys Generator, and what in one sentence we help PhD students to graduate. Right,
Very nice. Very good pitch. You.
I'm
Should
actually
we raise your voice so that?
yeah, sure. I'm actually with Rafia, but I'll try to pitch it in my own way. My name is Amin. I'm also from Australia, and I'm not a student, but the startup name is AutoTC Generator, and what we do is basically we help researchers and also postgraduate students to finish their journal writing and also PhD thesis faster and better.
Awesome. Awesome. What about you?
Hi, so my name is Muhammad. So I'm from Saibjaya and I'm also studying in University of Saibjaya. Business. And my startup name is called Future Design Person. So we are a startup that focus on how to integrate design operating and practice services for the SMEs.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, people in office. So for all of you online, I can see Saravana, right, already. So maybe we go first, Saravana.
Yes. Yeah. Hi guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. I'm Saravana Pillai, and I'm staying in Nilai, and I'm from UPM Serdang as well, and I will be graduating in October. I did masters in biotechnology with bioentrepreneurship, and I'm working. I mean, my startup is called Urban Green. I'm trying to close gap with food security, urban agriculture, produce, and those stuff. And I'm very early stage. Probably I'll say TRL 2 or 3, and I'm looking forward to learning from you guys and trying to see where I can go. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Saravana. Let's move on. Give them in the video. Oh, wow. Okay, come. We have 20 people in the call, so let's move on. I can't see the name, so if you maybe pick them.
Hello, sir. Can I start first?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, hi, a very good day. My name is Kamaleshwaran Naidu. I'm a currently third year student studying for Bachelor in Computer Science, Cybersecurity in Honours at University of Malaysia Pahang, Al Sultan Abdullah. My startup is called Dietmate. Dietmate is an AI-based application designed to help individuals with diabetes to manage their condition by providing personalized meal plan, real-time health monitoring, and personalized guidance for the diabetic patients. So that's all about my startup.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Let's move on.
Okay, hi. My name is Kureto Ain. I am from University Putra Malaysia. I am from Cyberjaya, and my course is Cell and Molecular Biology. So currently, I am doing STEM, Sinar Berhad, which is a STEM education, which I focus on STEM education, and currently I am hosting one because now it's during school holiday. So we are doing science camps, science kits, and mostly focus on STEM education.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Can you get Izzat? Izzat from Launchmat. Izzat from Launchmat. Or maybe just one representative from each startup. That'd be okay. We have Acromany.
Hello, hello, sir.
Hello.
Can you all hear me?
Can. Yes.
All right. So my name is Haris Haziq, and I'm actually from KL. I'm currently studying in UTP, University of Petronas. I'm taking mechanical engineering. What my startup is doing is actually it's called AgroMoney. So it is we as a project developer that um, do improve land management, and then we are targeting farmers to redeem their carbon credit and then trade the carbon credit at Bursa Carbon Exchange. So that's all from AgroMoney.
Interesting. Very interesting. A lot of very cool startups today. Thank you, Aris. Let's move on. We have Foodie in the call. Okay, just anybody, one volunteer, please. That's what I should do this. GP Arise. Okay, come on, guys, you're startup founders. You gotta pitch your ideas. We have Greeny.co.
Hello, can I introduce myself next?
Yes, please.
I am Isma from Indonesia, but another founders, one of them is also from Indonesia, another one is from Malaysia. All of us are currently studying in INSAFE University under Bank Negara Malaysia. Our startup name is Kolam, and what we're trying to provide is the digital library, make it easier for everyone to read books and cheaper for reading. That's all.
Okay, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Calling for second mind or Suara Duit.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi.
Hi, my name is Sim Kaho, and I'm from Seremban. I study in University Tunku Abdul Rahman, and my course is computer science. So my startup name is Mahora. We are a community-based platform empowering the next generation with practical work experience needed to excel in future careers. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. We have Prof. Eder. Prof. Eder. Calling for pedal power. Do we have Mini Minder?
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Hello, my name is Zihao and I'm from Ipoh and my university is University Technology Malaysia and from Johor, and my course is mechanical engineering and my startup name is Miniminder. And what we are trying to do right now is basically we're trying to make a miniature tracking device that can be utilized as a sticker to be attached to any daily products that will help us to provide live location tracking to Wi-Fi or cellular data. And that's all.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Mini Minder.
Thank
Nice meeting you. Let's move on. We have Majora.
Hi, I've just now presented our platform, Mahora.
Sorry. Do we have Malaysia Hub? We have Juice on. Calling for if reported. Do we have Healthflex BioWave?
Can you hear me? Hello?
And yes.
All right. So yeah, my name is Muhammad Zafar bin Muhammad Zulkarnain. I'm originally from KL, but currently I'm in Penang studying at University Science Malaysia. So my course is bioprocessing. So our startup name is Healflex BioWave. So what we aim to do is to provide a sustainable, biodegradable wound dressing material which enhances with enhanced antimicrobial and wound healing properties.
Wow. Cool.
Thank you.
Again, calling for greeny.co in the call. We have Ejat AI. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for those of you who shared. Nice to meet all of you. And let's continue then. So remember, any questions, just shoot at any time, especially you guys. You can stop me anytime. And those online, just drop it in the comments and maybe someone will let me know. Okay, so caveat, right, is I come from a background in software. I've been doing tech startups for the past 5 years, and you can see I'm a very tech-focused guy. So I can only really add value here. So I want to be honest with all of you. But however, it shouldn't be an issue. Make sure to own your own experience wherever you go in life, everywhere you go. Make the most out of it. Own your experience. The principles stay the same. Try it and translate it back to yourself in terms of how you build your own startup. Where rather, regardless of the STEM education business or a biotech business or a self-healing business, which are super cool stuff I'm seeing here, right? It all comes back to the same principles. Maybe the tools are not the same, but the principles will always stay the same, which I'm going to be sharing first. So there are 3 parts for today. First is understanding the product management landscape in general. Number 2 is to understand the cost drivers. And the third one will be understand what to do for that. Okay, so understanding product. Why product? Because the topic for today is how to build my product cost effectively. So this is a picture from Alex Ramosi. Alex Ramosi, you guys know Alex Ramosi. He is this buff dude with a lot of beard. He talks about marketing stuff. He started his own gym. Basically, he runs, the book 100 million offers, 100 million leads, right? He's really famous. He grew his channel to like 50 million subscribers in like 2 years, something like that. It's really impressive. So here, I think this picture sums it up really well. If you have a great product, you don't need that much of sales and marketing. So product is things that you build once, it's going to be there forever. Every incremental improvement you put to your product, it stays there forever, right? Whereas sales and marketing, but keep on chasing and chasing and chasing. Product is the only thing that you want to build for long-term growth for your company. Okay, great product is essential. That's all I'm trying to say here. Key differentiation between product and service-based businesses, right? Just to show you guys, why not just do service, right? Why do product? Because in my opinion, both works, okay? But for me, I like to build something once and scale forever. And if there's something wrong with the thing that I'm building, I fix it and it's now good for the next 1,000 million users that are using my product, right? So a quick look through, I'm not going to run through everything here, but the key items here that you want to see here is customer interaction, right? Product is one-time interaction during purchase, usually, right? And service-based will be ongoing, close interaction. So if you think about your big companies like McKinsey, Ogilvy, IBM, even IBM, not strictly, but your big 4 consulting firms, these are all service-based businesses. You have to serve people and you have to, in a way, sell your time for it, right? Which it's not bad. It's just a different kind of business model. It's a service, okay? Then you have people like Apple, Toyota, Microsoft. So if you look at S&P 500, the biggest US companies, look at top 10 companies, they're mostly going to be product-based businesses, whether it's software or hardware. Okay. So understanding the product management landscape in general now. So here is where you belong. Again, I'm talking about a software-based business, right? You have your UI, UX person, you have your tech people, and you have your business people, right? In the early days of a business, you may have to do all 3, and that is where the product management person comes in. You cannot just focus on tech, you cannot just focus on UI, UX, and you cannot just focus on business because you're not going to go anywhere, especially in the early days. You are somewhere in the middle over here. Understanding this, okay? At the start, you will be somewhat just the PM, which is the product manager, which is the founder, which is you, and you probably managing 1 developer because, come on, you don't have budget for more than that, right? But as you grow, as you can see, it go up the chart, right? You now have different roles. And in bigger companies like Facebook, right? Each product manager manages just 1 feature. That's why a lot of people enjoy, I enjoy going to startup because I get to see myself building things from the start to the end, right? For every customer feedback that I get, I fix it for them, regardless of what the features are. I get to see and build an entire thing from scratch myself. I love that for me. However, when you're in a bigger company, right, look at this. 1 CEO and you have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 product managers that managing different features in a product. For example, maybe someone in Facebook could manage a feature for search, right? So you are the product manager for search and only search. You don't know anything about anything else. Okay, so this is how it evolves over time. So this one I'm gonna see through this as well. So so the point I'm sharing this slide is because you need to understand that your role as a product manager, it really moves from pre-product market fit to product market fit to growth. Now, to define product market fit is the stage where you have customers ranging and really, really, really wanting to use your product. The point here is, if your product didn't exist tomorrow, how sad that would they be? If the answer is 8 out of 10 and above, it means you have some form of customer demand over that. Okay. And if you ask them, would you introduce this product to your friend? If the answer, how likely are you going to introduce this product to your friend? That's your NPS score, right? If it's anything below 8 out of 10, it means you probably don't have any product market fit. Okay, so your role as a product manager, pre-product market fit to product market fit to growth stages, it's all very different. Initially, it's going to be very short-term focused. You're going to just focus on getting things to move. After that, you're going to focus on the center of UI UX, being the CEO of the product, and moving forward is to think about how you can scale, right? So that's the differences, and that's why you need to be very careful in terms of who you take advice for, because if you get advice from someone who's in the growth stage, he's going to tell you very different things. He's going to tell you things like, oh, look, you need 4 product managers and 5 UI UX person, and I don't know, 4 QA person and like 4 developers. He's going to tell you very different things, right? And you're going to feel demotivated. Oh shit, how am I going to do tech startup with this? Because you don't have the funding, you don't have the skills, you don't have the people in place, right? So I would say always focus here, because you are here now, or maybe even here, right? For me, I'm probably somewhere here now. Okay, so focus on the advice. So for today's discussion, we will focus on here, all right? Because this is relevant to you guys. If you take advice from here, you're going to be struggling. You're probably going to give up very fast. Okay, so the point is, this role can do very different things depending on the stage that your company is at. It evolves over time. Next, we want to understand cost, because again, the topic for today is how to build my product cost effectively. So we understood product. Now, any questions first before I proceed to cost? Any questions with product and on a high level what product is? No, everyone understands product? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now let's understand cost. Right? What does cost effectively mean? So there are many things that affect the cost of building things. And if you're not in tech, don't worry. This is the same thing, right? Whatever you want to build. The point here is, the more things that you add in, the more the cost is going to be, right? The number of features, the project's complexity, the team composition, the tech stack, the staff experience, the region you're hiring in, all these things contribute to cost. There are some costs that can be avoided, and there are some costs that cannot be avoided. And in the tech landscape, this is, again, is applicable to any industry that you're in. However, in the tech landscape, you cannot avoid front-end, back-end. If you're doing mobile app, then that's mobile app. You cannot avoid hosting. You have to host your stuff. You have to have databases. You have to have storages for your images and your videos. You need to have email servicing. You need to have payment gateway. You need to have a SMS service, right? These are inevitable costs. However, I'm going to show you how to get it free or very cheap later. But the point here is, there will be cost. It's how much you add in. TLDR, the more you want to build, the more it's going to cost. Remember, less is more. Powerful thing. So I'm going to share this quick video over here.
Simplicity is good for the soul. We complain about how complicated life has become, but we continue to complicate our lives. The 2 main ways we complicate our lives is with things and commitments. So much of our anxiety comes from the things we own and the things we commit to, and yet we cling to them and multiply them as if they were prizes to be cherished. Here are 7 examples of how less is more. 1, less television means more time to read. 2, less comparison means more contentment. 3, less stuff means more space. 4, less talking means more listening. 5, fewer commitments means more time just to be. 6, less complaining means more gratitude. And 7, less clutter means more clarity. Less is more means different things to different people. Find out what it means to you. Try it. Take note of how it changes your life.
I really like the final part where he says less is more means different things to different people, right? This applies to everything in life. And this is so meaningful to me, because back in the days, I used to always, let's add in this AI feature and add in this database and add in this front end, and let them connect, have a chat feature, right? Emails, SMS. We can integrate to Discord and Telegram. There's so many things that you are going to want to build. But remember, going back to the cost drivers, I can teach you, I can give you 1,000 free tools and 100 open source tools, which I'm going to give later. But eventually, right, the thing that is really increasing your cost, whatever you're building, is this, right? The more things you add in, the more it's going to cost. And this is just so powerful, to be honest. So yeah, so this is more on the soft side of things, about life, right? More time to read and less time for television. It's more generally life. So, and I'm a big fan of personal development because I think, in my opinion, running a business, you are the business, especially in the early days. So you need to be strong, you need to be mentally resilient, and you need to have the right mindset when it comes to building startups. It's not even about, oh, what's the next best idea, right? It's about you. Can you take care of yourself first? Do you have the right mindset? Because if you do have the right mindset, I can guarantee you will be able to get to whatever success you want. Whether it's 10K per month, 50K per month, 100K per month, $1 million per month, whatever it is, it all comes with the right mindset first.
Simplicity.
Okay, so less is more for teams. So this is more on personal side, more fluffy zen happiness side, right? Which is good. Which I said you need to care of yourself first as a founder. Next, let's move on to teams. Okay, let's watch this one. It's very good. I'll speed up a bit.
Today, I want to talk to you about the complexity of leading a large team. The larger the team, we see an increasing amount of complexity. As your team grows, so does the complexity of things like communication. Let's take a look at that. So if you have a team of 4, there's actually 6 different lines of communication. You move that team to 5, 10, 6, 15, 7, 21. You get the idea. As we add more and more people, the communication has a greater opportunity to become unclear and break down. So we have always said a perfect span of care for a leader is about 6 or 7 people. When you get beyond that, things break down. And it's not just communication. One of those things is the actual span of care and the leader communicating with everybody in the group and the group relating well with each other in an effective way. When we look at the next thing, I think you're going to see it's really important too, and that is the return on work. We see a diminishing return on work the larger the team. Remember, we've said before, if you're wanting to develop people, you need something in this category. If you just want to delegate or don't, man, you can increase the numbers, but it's not near as effective as making sure that you have a smaller team. So for instance, if you say, hey, I have a team of 20 people in my parking group, awesome. Well, I would break those out into 3 different groups and add maybe a captain layer in there. It's not adding that layer is not something that we're doing that is going to create more confusion or further dissuade communication from happening. What it does is it actually gives an opportunity for someone else to be developed, and it actually helps you increase the care, the communication, and the return on work by adding that extra layer. So now that you understand the increasing complexity of large teams, what are you going to do about it?
Awesome, right? So, Yep. So don't worry so much about the team. Some people like to brag about, look, I run a team of 30 people, 50 people. It doesn't matter. In fact, if anything, you guys right now in an early stage, right? I think some of you are at idea stage, MVP stage, whatever stage you're in, you guys are still early. And in the early stage is where you move the fastest. So make the most out of it. Right now, I can completely relate to this because I was managing like freaking 12 people myself, my team. That's why he mentioned just now. Once you reach, I think maximum, you can probably manage 6 to 7 people maximum. After that, you're gonna need middle level management. That's why keep your team lean, right? Keep your costs low and find the best people for the role. So you don't have to do all these kind of things. See, with every one new hire you get, your complexity scales. Okay, so things like communication, things like finding details, things like getting tasks done. I thought you were doing this, not me, right? So focus on keeping it small and moving fast because that's your only edge now as a startup. So appreciate the process. That's what I'm trying to say. Next will be less is more in product, right? The same applies to product. More ideas, more features, and there will be more complexity as well. Okay, so I think you guys got the point. I'm going to skip this. Do we need a break? Okay, fantastic. No one needs a break. Then we will continue. Now you know more about product management in general, but would you want to manage a product that no one uses? Anyone here has a product that no one uses that you spend, I don't know, 300K, 400K, or you spend 100K, whatever, you spend some time building a product, but no one uses it. Anyone? Raise your hands. All of you have users already. One is still okay. She has 1 user. Good job. No, it's still good. It's still good, right? So that's fine. Let's move on because I have built products that have no users. They sign up, but they don't use it. Okay. The idea was cool. I was like, oh, someone's gonna come and use, but yeah, I was like, yo, let's do it. I built it for 6 months. And when we finally launched it, I hired a developer every day in, day out, working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. trying to launch this new idea, revolutionary idea that's gonna change the world. But no one uses it. And I'm like, oh, right? So first things first, let's go through Slido again. I want to know What problem are you solving? This is the very first question you need to be very firm in. And in fact, you shouldn't need to think now also, right? If you have a product already, you need to know what's the problem that you're solving. Let's give it 3 minutes. Wow. Maybe make it into a more descriptive sentence, like something I can understand. Because if you say postgraduate, I don't know what you're trying to say.
I tried putting the whole sentence, but
Oh,
Slido chopped up.
Okay, maybe you could just write it in the comments, this Slido thing. Or maybe you guys can tell me first, you guys here. And for those of you, people, wow. Okay, but for those of you who are, but some of them could write longer sentences.
Not sure what happened.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I think that's how their word cloud. Hello. It's how their word cloud works. So maybe you guys can share first. What's the problem that you're solving?
So the problem we're solving as auto thesis generator is we are helping the problem of researchers and also postgraduate students who are unsure, stuck, and lost in writing their research papers and completing their thesis.
So the problem is?
Yes, they couldn't. The implied problem is for researchers they cannot fulfill their KPI, and for students they cannot get their degree.
You?
Our focus is like trying to streamline on design production processes. So how we going to ask
no, not your solution, but your problem. The problem you're solving.
Itself is on the streamline of the time and cost needed to design.
So that's your solution. What's the problem?
The problem is the cost and the time.
Okay, it's what? Very high and very long.
Yeah, very high.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the problem I'm solving. Very high, very long time, and very high cost, right? And you're solving that. Okay, and for those of you who are online, maybe I can get 3 volunteers to share what is the problem you're solving. A one-liner problem, not your solution, yeah, but your problem. Your end user, what are they struggling?
Okay, there's one mentioned here in the chat. Derek, for Sarabana.
Yes.
Yeah, so the problem is food insecurity and land degradation.
Food insecurity and
land degradation.
Okay, very good.
Okay, that's for Sarabana. For Kamalesh, diet mate, difficulty in controlling blood sugar level.
Okay, very good.
For the other startups, come on guys, you guys cannot be joining and stay silent. You guys need to be engaged with the session.
Yeah, come on, let's engage.
Yeah.
The problem is the most important thing because if you don't get a problem right, everything else is wrong from there.
Just feel free to type it in. It's okay if it's wrong, if it's right. No such thing. It's your own problem. Yep. Okay. People lost valuable things. For
Say again, Amira?
For Miniminder, people losing their valuable things.
People losing their valuable things. Yes, I lose my phone all the time. Not just my phone, my freaking wallet. That's why I stopped using wallet. But yeah, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So let's move on. The earliest, simplest, just enough solution to solve whatever problem you mentioned. That is what you need to be building. Okay, so whatever you mentioned, or people will do stuff, right? Whatever it is, doesn't need to be complex. You don't need to go and build some crazy IoT side of things. Go and build that a whole Apple AirTag out of it, right? How can you do it super cheap, super fast? Maybe it could just be a QR code. I don't know, right? Think about the cheapest, easiest, simplest, the most just enough solution to solve the problem you want to solve. So that is what we're going to talk about today, which is a minimum viable product, right? Minimum means the most bare bones foundation. Viable means sufficient, it works, okay? And it's a product. So something that people can not touch and feel. Of course, if you're doing software, then they can't touch and feel, but they can see it there. Okay, this is how you should define it. Minimum meaning like unfinished. Nobody wants to use an you can't even use it. That's if it's just minimum. Okay, if it's just viable, though, over here, it's a product that a company wants to produce the final product that's viable. An iPhone is viable, right? So now you gotta marry them two and find a product that is just good enough to solve the core problem, whatever you mentioned just now, your core problem of your customers, and only has functions for just your core problem that you're solving. So if, for example, in this example only, right? Someone signs up on your app and you send them an email notification. Is that really solved? Is that really part of your MVP? It shouldn't be. Unless you're building a newsletter, then it's a whole different story, right? So yeah, minimum viable product. For the mini minder, for example, that's a really great idea. It's if I can stick something to my item, maybe it's a sticker, whatever it is, right? Stick it to my item, I can track it through GPS, right? Do I need, okay, when I buy this from you, you give me like a nice box, right? You ship it to me, email reminders, everything. No, I just need the product that works. That's it. Everything else, forget it. Don't even spend a day doing or thinking about it. Because like I said, back to the slide here, complexity, right? The more things you add in, the more complexity there's gonna be. It's simple. You may think, okay, just one little thing, let me do it. But no, everything you have connects to each other in every product that you're building. So you have to be very strict with yourself. The product manager's job is to be really strict to cut out all the fluff, all the things that are not solving your problem. Okay, whatever you wrote over here, it has to solve exactly just that. Okay, and by the way, this is just a very easy picture to show you, right? The purpose of a vehicle, regardless of it's a skateboard or a bicycle or a motorbike or a car or a truck, whatever it is, right? The purpose of it is to help people, right? Your startup is here to help people go from point A to point B. And it's not just destination. For auto thesis, it's helping people struggling to finish their thesis to finishing their thesis very well on time. Okay, for you is to do something cheaper and faster, something like that, right? The point is, if you can help people do it in whatever ways, right? And for in this case, if I want to travel from my house, which is in Subang, to here in PJ, I can technically do it with a skateboard. I can technically do it, but it's the minimum viable product. Okay, so yeah, just to showcase that it works, lah. So describe your MVP in 30 seconds. Anyone has an MVP already? You do. I know you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Share with us, what have you built so far?
So for auto TC generator, our MVP product currently is we have a template to assist students to complete their research paper and also their thesis.
Very nice. Good job. Okay, let's get maybe 2 more people from online. If you could on your video and unmute yourself, that would be great. Describe your MVP with us.
Since you guys are very shy, then I think I will just call some names. I know that a few of you have MVP. So yeah, Diet Mate.
Hello. Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Darren. I'm Kamlesh here. So we are from DietMate. The current MVP, we have developed a web-based application for diabetic patients where we will be collecting the user's personal data, their health history, and then their nutritional requirements and their allergy. Based on that, we will be creating an AI-based meal plan for them. But the current MVP, it's a general meal plan. So you're planning to create an AI meal plan for the patients.
Okay, so very good. So you're saying that current MVP, it just works without the AI.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It just very good. Thank you, Kamalesh.
All right.
Thank you, Kamalesh. Mini Minder, I think this have some sort of MVP. Mini Minder, are you guys there?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch what the definition of MVP was just now.
Okay. MVP is a minimal viable product, a product like a prototype, basically. You guys have it, right?
Now we're still in the progress of that, still in the development of that, but we have already the ideas and the hardware. We're just waiting for them to be shipped, the components, and we're just going to build it up from scratch. We already have the blueprints and everything, the framework and everything is gonna work.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your MVP with us. So yeah, I think that's basically the idea, right? What's the minimum you can build to just get it to work? And thanks to you guys for sharing. I think it's really helpful. Okay, so next we're going to talk about validating it first. And the best part about validation is you can be making money first without even having a product, right? So this is me even going further than just having an MVP. MVP is 2022 the year 2000s advice lah. 20 years ago, it's been here already building MVP, which I think is good, right? And I think you can spin up really fast now. You don't even need to hire people. You can just do it yourself most of the time at home, right? With the cheapest available solution, which I'll share later, right? But for now, talking about making money without a product is how I did it. I can only share my experience from today, right? I want to make this more of an experience sharing. So for Sigma School, which is a coding bootcamp, all we had last time, you may think, oh, a coding bootcamp, shit. If I would ask you to start one now, what are you going to do? You're going to have a curriculum, you're going to find hiring partners, you're going to hire instructors, you're going to do so many things. Talk to MOE, right? Get MQA certified, that kind of stuff, right? For us, what we did was all I had was a landing page, no instructors, no curriculum, no learning platform. All I had was a landing page and a pitch. The pitch was learn to code, learn and get a job. Learn to code in 3 months to get a job, or we give you your money back. And we say that the batch will start in 3 months. And that's why from there, we raised 50,000 ringgit free product from the students. Yeah, we didn't raise funding, but we got it from the students itself. And we didn't lie, right? We delivered to those students. And we also used those 3 months to quickly build like something that's just good enough for them to start on their journey. So this is for Sigma School. For Codio, same thing. We have the idea. I pitched the idea. It's this Duolingo for learning to code. You can learn to code on your phone 5 minutes a day, right? All we did, same thing, was a landing page. I blasted it out to many different groups. I got 300 plus signups in like a day, in 2 days. And I also got featured on Vulcan Post. And without the product even being done. And then we got 5 upfront sales because we used to sell, we do like a pre-sale kind of thing where they could pay for lifetime access. From there, we charge, I think, around 1,000 ringgit plus for lifetime access. And we got 5 upfront sales pre-product. So this is me showing that, look, there is demand. 300 plus signed up for it, and 5 has paid me 1,000 ringgit each. Pre-product without a single code written, just an idea. And the next one will be Sigma Studios. This is a software development project, right? So this one here is more of a service, right? Because this is me building software for people. So I was just being nice. Whenever people ask me to share stuff with them, I always try my best to help people. And somehow this guy was a son of a very big company, and they were very rich, and they were looking for a CTO. I told them I'm not looking to get a job, but you could engage me and I could help you out on a contract basis, right? So I got a project worth 1 million ringgit. So all this and this Sigma Studios thing, by the way, it wasn't even called Sigma Studios back in the days. It was just Derek Yee. It was just me. So I put myself out there, and from then on, once I created Sigma Studios, I blasted here and there in mostly US/Singapore/Australia pages, and we were getting a lot of leads from these people already. So the idea here is what can you do right now? Okay. So don't feel good from your MVP or from your validation, right? Whatever you do here, whatever you do from your validation, it could be just sending a Google form. It could be building a minimum an MVP. Obviously, MVP will take a little bit longer, but some people today, and I myself today, I can ship a whole tech startup in like a weekend. I could do that now, right? At my level now, I could. And many people can as well. So whatever you can do, go out there and get traction. The traction meaning any form of results that gives you an element of confidence that your idea would work before spending 500K raising funding and building a product, right? In this case, for me, I made money. Customers paid me money on the idea that they could get this, right? People signed up, 300 plus signed up. 300 people actually took the time to fill up a form and paid me money. For me, it's cash in the bank. If you can get cash in the bank, that's the best validation out there, right? 1,000 ringgit in the bank is worth so much more than 1,000 signups. But whatever you can do to get validation, that is good. If you have your idea, do like a nice picture, you shout out on Facebook groups and you get people to see it, and everyone was like, hey, what's this? Apa ni? And they're going to be like, no one cares, no one shared, no one signed up, then you know something is wrong somewhere. So you got to find an angle that can make people excited first before even building it. Okay, so if you don't feel good with your results, okay, go back to the drawing board, which means when think again, what is it that needs to change? Maybe the title isn't attractive enough. Maybe the problem you're solving isn't defined enough, right? A lot of you just now gave me very vague problems that you're solving, which is fine. But the point is, as specific as you can be, that's how you stand out, right? For example, auto thesis, you're saying you're helping PhD people solve their thesis, right? For example, you could even go more specific. You're helping PhD people in biomedical science, in University Malaya, for example. So your pitch can be as specific as that, so it shouts at them, right? If I say, hey, guy, or I say, hey, if you're a guy, look at me, right? It's very, then all the guys will look at me. But if you say, hey, if you're a guy and you're Malay and you're wearing a spec and a red jacket, there's only one guy who will look at me. So it's very hyper specific to him, and that's why it speaks directly to him, and that's why he will sign up for it. So when you talk about your problem, don't just say, I want to solve world hunger, right? That's cool, that's great, that's a vision statement. But the problem is, who exactly are you going to go solve it first? Speak as closely as you can to that person, niche down to that person, and then you stand out, and then you can get them to sign up. Okay, so yeah, so for that's it. So if you don't feel good, go back to the drawing board. If you feel good, fantastic. It's time to build, which is my favorite part of everything. I myself, as a tech person, I like to build. That's why I built 5, 6, 7 startups and I burned 500K, right? So builders like to build. I like to build, but even I will tell you now, do not build until you get the problem part, the validation done first. Please don't do anything else before the problem is validated to whatever level that you are confident with. Of course, to some people, maybe even 50K pre-product isn't enough to validate for them. So everyone has a different risk tolerance, but all I can say is bring it to where you yourself are comfortable, not your investors, not your parents, not your girlfriend, you. If you're comfortable, then start building it. Okay, some people are more risk-taking, then they can just do faster. So this is the development cycle. Okay, it's the same for hardware, similar as well for hardware. You start with planning, number one, go into analysis, go into design, go into implementation, and then testing and maintenance. This may look like fluffy words to you now, but I'm going to define how you can do it later, okay? Or which is now actually. I'm going to share it now. So I'm going to always say, do it for free or do it open source. Because right now, you obviously don't have licensing, you don't have budget. Sometimes you just pay for an ERP tool, for example, it's ringgit 1 million per year, something like that, right? My friend literally does business setting up ERP for people, right? So ERP is great, you can build a lot of things with it, but do you need it? So for me, I've broken it down every step into certain tools that you can use. So you can take a picture of this, or I can send you the slides later also, right? So for planning, it's simple. Use Notion or Google Docs to just spam out your ideas. Whatever it is, just write it, just throw it in there. Does it to be nice? Does it to be pretty? It just needs to be there. And once you've planned it, you got to analyze it. So analysis, you could use something like answerthepublic.com. You can Google that. I can share a showcase as well, but you can just write it down. Answerthepublic.com, where it gives you what people are searching for. So you can further validate your idea because you know that people are trying to solve this problem. And back in the days, I was like, okay, I tried searching for learning to code. There were a lot of tools like Free Code Camp, Code Academy, whatever, but there were no coding bootcamp that works the same way that I did in Malaysia. Project-based first, and we give money back if you don't get a job, and we have like 30 plus hiring partners throughout the world. Right, and that is an attractive pitch. And by the way, we are so attractive to Americans and Europeans, and we have like some people from UK, Germany joining us because I saw that there was demand in their country searching for bootcamps in Southeast Asia because they wanted it for the sake of affordability. Right. For context, we charge 20,000 ringgit now for a bootcamp. Most of the time, people will negotiate. Oh, it's so expensive, right? But for the foreigners, I realized it doesn't matter where they are from. We have like a few African students as well. They don't even negotiate and up front, which is crazy. Which I'm like, awesome, great stuff. Okay, so just a little bit of experience sharing. So planning, analysis, what's next? Design, right? So once you get an idea in your head, oh shit, I want to build an auto thesis solver, right? Ideas in your head already. Just throw it out, how we can do it. Throw it down, then analyze it. Is there even a demand for it? Use Answer the Public, use Google Trends, use all these tools to understand, is this even a good idea to build, right? Are people even searching for this? You can even go as far, analysis, you can go as far as going to universities. For example, you're in UPM, or you're in USM, wherever you are, go to those universities and talk to those people. Hey, if I could do this for you, would you pay for it, right? would it be good? See the reaction on their faces. If you're like, tak apa lah, it's fine, I just do it myself. Okay, then no need, right? Then that means something is wrong there. But if you go there like, wow, damn, if you got this, I would love it. I would pay you good money for it. For example, for guys, you all want to be taller, for example, right? I'm 175 cm, right? If I could be 185, for example, that would be good, amazing, right? So it's like, hey, eat this pill and you can grow 10 cm taller without any drawbacks. And this pill is like 5 ringgit. I'm gonna be like, dude, sign me up. I know a lot of you will buy this, right? So it's like understanding the problem first, then moving on later to design, implementing, testing, and maintenance. So back to the next step, right? Which is design. We're gonna look at design. We use Figma to sketch it first. Some people use Canva or whatever, but you know what? Figma is the winner in UI UX today. 4 years ago, when I first started, they were still a tiny little startup, right? Just there trying to disrupt Adobe XD, which is so damn big back then. So Figma really challenged them. Adobe tried to buy them, but it didn't go well. So just use Figma to design it. There's so many templates. You don't need to do anything yourself anymore. The landing page, I can show some projects later on as well. I use Figma for literally everything, and it's for free. You can collaborate with your freelancers, you can collaborate with your interns, whatever. It's all for free. Okay, so you design it up first. And if and only if you have your Figma ready, then you move on to implementation. Because without Figma, without analysis, without your Google Docs, everything is going to be so damn messy. I told you one of my projects that I failed, PathForge, the learning platform that I built, right? That one failed after 2 years of development. Why? It's because everybody didn't know what was expected. My COO and me was like, hey, I thought do this. Then I was like, hey, I thought do that. Then the developer was like, hey, no lah, you told me like this. James said it was this. Then the designer was like, hey guys, come on. I thought we agreed on this. So there were 4 sources of truth. 4 people thinking of different things. And another bad experience I had was I was yelled at. One of my clients actually yelled at me for building the wrong things. I'm like, no, that's what your project manager told me to build. Then project manager was like, oh no, I didn't say it. Then it's like that communication barrier is going to be the death of you, whether it's a service-based business or a product-based business. So you really need to first get everything sorted on one single source of truth. There's only one truth over here. Look, I plan this out. The user stories, I plan it on my Notion or Google Docs. It's here. Designer, just follow here and design this out. Once I approve it, developers just follow the design. If the design isn't done and you just want to wing it, there will be a lot of problems. So always design first. I don't even work with clients who want to pay me high and say, just keep the design. No, I will never do it. I will just put in the time and money to build it. Okay, so once you've done design, assuming everything is good, okay, I'm making it look very easy. Like this is how to sketch it. Looks easy, but actually this is one of the hardest part because if you get this wrong, then everything else is so wrong. So you need to follow the sequence. You got to follow the sequence, right? Designing it, and next will be implementation, right? Implementation which means you're building it. So you can build it with no code or low code or even AI code today. I'm going to share with you the tools as well that you use to build as a non-technical founder. You can build your whole software from scratch. And I'm going to also talk about the pros and cons of everything. Next thing will be implementation. Anything that you want to build, right? It could be a search feature. It could be a navigation bar. It could be an AI tech stack. Whatever it is, always go for open source first. Of course, if they allow you to license it, right? Always go for open source first. You never really want to build anything from scratch, especially on the MVP phase, because you can always just launch it. Imagine you spend 5 years building something, and then 5 months, building something. Actually, I actually know someone who spent 3 years building something and no one uses the product, right? So yeah, that's kind of sad. But imagine you spend X amount of time building something and no one uses your thing. So it's like, is it really worth you spending the time building it from scratch? No. Your idea here is you want to validate it really fast. So just use open source first, which I will share also, right? Which is free. Next thing, implementation, integrating your APIs and automating workflows, right? Just use all these kind of like connection tools like Zapier, Make.com. They're all free. They're free trials as well, right? If it's not enough, then you can make 5 free accounts on Zapier, for example, right? In the MVP stage, just really be scrappy and do whatever you can yourself. Without cost. Every dollar that is paid into it is a dollar that you need to know, building a startup, you're not getting paid, especially a product-based business. If you're running a school like me or a software agency like me, then that's great, right? But I only did the school and the software agency because I didn't have funding. I wanted to build product. I'm a product guy, but I had no choice. I had to fund my lifestyle and I didn't want to fundraise from investors. So I had to do those service-based things first. So if you don't want to follow my path, right, which I also wouldn't recommend because it's a whole different ballgame service. You want to go straight into product, just know this. everyone has a limited time before they give up, before they run out of energy, they run out of steam, before they run out of stamina to continue building their startup, right? Building a startup is a marathon, right? So just know that every dollar you spend on the startup is you taking away runway from you building longer on the startup. And the success of a startup oftentimes correlates with how long the founder spent in it. Obviously, if the founder gives up on month 3, nothing's going to happen. But the beauty may be on month 4. You never know, right? So you want to be able to increase your chances and see as much things as possible, get as much data as possible, get as much traction as possible with as little cost as possible. So I'm very, very cheap when it comes to paying for tools and all this kind of stuff. Anything can be done in 1 day, must be done in half a day, whatever. In startup, my co-founder used to tell me, right? 1 day is 1 week, 1 week is 1 month, 1 month is 1 year. You need to be fast. The moment you find yourself chilling, then you got to ask yourself, why am I building a startup? Just go and get a job somewhere. Just go and do service. Don't build a software product because you need to be fast. Otherwise, someone else will just copy your idea and launch faster than you. Okay? So next thing will be email automation if you need it. Use Mailchimp, for example, it's free as well. And always, look, I capped this thing. In this entire page, so many texts over here. There's only one place where I capitalized it. Always have a payment option. Right? My Codio app, my coding app thing, amazing. I got featured on a Vulcan post. I got 300+ signups. But if I didn't have payment option there, I wouldn't have gotten paid. If my Sigma School landing page, I just put a form there without payment options, I wouldn't have made 50K ringgit that allowed me to continue building from there. So no matter what you do, always have a payment option. Let people pay. If you don't let people pay, I'm like, what are you doing? Right? You're not doing charity here. You want to let people pay. And most of the time, people who don't have payment options are usually B2B/enterprise deals. They don't really care about the B2C people, your 1-2 small deals. They don't really care. They say, you know what? Don't worry, you don't need to pay here. I'll send my sales team to call you and do a B2B deal and sell 100 plan, right? So 100 user plan. So 1 user is $10, 100 users is $1,000 already. So for them, they go on that level, $1,000 per month, right? Yeah. So, which brings me back to the same thing I mentioned just now in the first 10 slides. Be very aware of who you're getting advice from. Because if you're referring to a competitor who, doesn't have let's say a payment option on his page, don't think just because he does that, you can follow. Why? Because he is doing B2B, maybe. You never know what you're doing. So be very aware of who you are referring to and where you are at your state of the company. And just know that my advice here is based on you in day 1. Day 0, day 1 kind of advice is here. Maybe you're on day 10 already. Day 10 meaning you already have 10,000 ringgit MRR. Then this advice don't apply to you. You know what? 10,000 is very low. Maybe 100,000. Then this advice wouldn't apply to you at all. So this is from scratch. Because I think most of you here are still very early stage. So next will be testing. Obviously, you don't have the budget, so you need to manually test it yourself. Okay, I hated this the most because you are the CEO. You have to worry about product. You have to worry about freaking getting sales, getting marketing, getting branding, getting partnerships, managing developers, managing legal, managing accounting. All this shit you gotta do, and you have to sit down there and test your app yourself, right? Which I really hated a lot. There are a lot of automation testing tools, but I would say I'm not going to go through that here because I don't think you have the time to build those automations now. Just test it yourself because if it works for you, you will probably have the highest requirement for your own startup, which is another topic in its own. You shouldn't expect perfection, right? They always say progress, not perfection. You will probably have the highest requirement for your own tech startup. That's why you should test it yourself to make sure it works. Okay, once you've tested it and you deployed it, I did it in deployment here, but you have to deploy it, and then maintenance will be install Sentry. So for any of you building web applications, Sentry is a tool that automatically detects all your bugs. If something breaks, right, your user, yes, the thing that sucks the most is if something breaks for your user or on your site, you see that it works. And those of you who are building web apps, you can probably relate to this. So install Sentry, where it automatically tells you, okay, this is what breaks. Here's the error message, and here is a screenshot or a video of how it broke for this person. What did they see? Amazing tool, right? It's free. And you can just send this link to your developer and they fix it, right? Then there's Google Analytics. Obviously, I think most of you know this already. You know how many people visit your website, how many people click on XYZ button, what they do. And Hotjar is also a very good one where they can see like a screen recording of every single person who went to your page. You can see their interaction, what button they clicked, where did they scroll, where did they pause to read stuff. You know what catches their attention, right? So Hotjar, you need to have all these things set up. It takes like 2 minutes to get it done. Okay, Next thing will be Canny. Canny is a tool also for free that allows you to, so Sentry tracks the bugs. When something breaks, Sentry will track it. But for Canny, it's a link there where you can ask people to give you feedback on your bugs or feature requests. Let's say you are building, you're building an auto thesis tool, right? And you don't know what to build. You want to build 10, 20 features. You don't know what to build. So you want to communicate to people that, okay, this is in the pipeline. Next thing you can add friends. Next thing you can communicate. Next thing you can use AI to generate your thesis. This is in the pipeline, right? Then people can also give you, maybe you're paying users. You never know. Should I take feedback from the free users or people who are paying me now? Obviously, get it from people who are paying you now, right? So if people who are free users will say, I want this, you can just ignore it. So, but of course, obviously don't ignore it. But prioritize those who are paying members. Those who are prioritizing, they'll say, you know what? Hey guys, if you can give me this feature that can, I don't need a lot. I just need you to help me automate this part of the thesis builder and help me submit the thesis and help me send an email to me when it's confirmation, right? If you can build this, I will use it, right? They can communicate with you on Canny and you communicate with them through Canny. So, okay, awesome, thanks, we're on it. Okay, so that's for maintenance now. Okay, so to run through the loop again, plan first, analyze the which plan first, everything this data, dump it inside, right? You don't want to have your ideas in your brain. You want to throw it on a document. Analyze your information based on market research, competitor analysis, right? Use things like Answer the Public, Google Trends. There's so many other tools out there, right? You can see how many traffic are on everyone's website, right? Spend a lot of time here. Once this is done, then work with a designer or you yourself are the designer, right? Just get this done. Okay, once 1, 2, 3 are good, and only when they are good, then move on to 4, 5, 6. Just implementing it, building it, deploying it, testing it, and maintaining it. And don't worry, again, progress, not perfection. You don't need a perfect product that's damn beautiful, right? They said that if you're not embarrassed of this by Reid Hoffman, the CEO of LinkedIn, if you're not embarrassed by your first version, it means you're launching too late. You need to be embarrassed by it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is an example of what you get from the Answer the Public thing. So if you search for chocolate, right? It's a bit small, so you can try and zoom in yourself. If you search for chocolate, you can see what people are searching for chocolates, so you have to understand where are the pain points. Then, for example, can chocolate cause headaches? There we go. That's a topic to talk about. You can write a blog on it, or you can build a product that literally highlights this chocolate is the actual real chocolate you need. It does not cause headaches. I don't know, whatever. Can chocolate kill dogs? I don't know, right? So it's like, these are things that you look, the first chocolate in the world that doesn't kill dogs. Look, you're going to stand out, right? So understanding what people are searching for will help you understand your problem. It also gives you the cost per click if you were to run ads on these things, and also gives you the search volume. You can see 500,000 people search for these things every single month, right? So if you know this, that's a lot of people. Imagine if you just convert 10% of them to sign up on your app. You have 50K signups already. Amazing, amazing. And these are high intent searches where you know they're searching already. That's why I love the online digital space. I don't enjoy doing physical, go to like university, talk to the lecturer. I don't enjoy that. I enjoy more of this kind of thing. You just see everything that they're searching here and I just serve them in public. Of course, there's different use case for everything. If you go straight to their door, it will be more personal. Okay, let's talk about tech stack. I don't want to go through too detailed on this because it's very technical. So for tech stack, for me, I will be using Figma, React, Next.js, or Next.js if you need SEO. So some companies don't need SEO because it's an internal tool, for example. So they just use React. But if you need SEO, most of the time you need to use Next.js. And then I use Daisy UI, which is damn beautiful. I can share with you later. For backend, I just stick to the simple stuff, Express.js and Supabase, which is a backend as a service. Everything is built for you. And then cloud, I use Google Cloud. So this tech stack allows me to build 3 to 4 times faster than an average company in software. That's why we can launch so much faster. The pros is you can go very, very, very far with this tech stack. The cons is you need to be technical. No code tech stack, okay? Web will be Bubble. Mobile app, you can use Flutter Flow. I personally am not a fan of this because number one, I can code and I have a team who codes. But if you don't code, then I would say, and you want to build fast, then forget this because this takes a long time. Unless you have the timeline, you really enjoy coding, then do this. Otherwise, if you just want to build a startup, you can go this path. The pros, obviously, no coding needed. I've seen people build really big companies. I think my friend built something like this. He's making 30,000, 40,000 ringgit a month just using these things, no code involved, right? Because users don't really care if you coded it or whatever. They don't really care. They care the problem, right? Whatever problem they have, can you solve it? If you can solve this problem by whatever means, go and do it. Just like how, for example, in back in the days when I was building the restaurant SaaS AI thing, what it did was you take a picture of your receipt and automatically you categorize your receipt inside of your AI, inside of your accounting system. So back in the days when AI wasn't so easily available yet, we had to do a lot of things with OCR technology, TensorFlow, GS. We had to build our own machine learning models. And we're like, bro, your budget is only 150K. Cannot, right? His budget is 150K. I couldn't do it. So he was like, okay, no worries. And I gave him the suggestion, MVP, how about this? You go and find an intern to help you just manually, a human, go and do it first. Validate the demand. So somehow he found in Philippines, I think he found someone with very cheap, like some crazy cheap number, like lower than that, very cheap number. And he was like, you know what? Don't need AI. It's even cheaper than you doing it with AI back then. I don't know about now. So he managed to use that to validate the idea. So the users don't really care. Is it an AI that solves it for me or some Filipino guy? They don't really care. All they care about is, can you solve my problem for me? That's the kind of mindset I want to share with you guys. So no one cares if you use React or Next.js. No one gives a damn. This is just my favorite one. Then no one cares to use Bubble or Flutterflow as long as it doesn't break. However, the pro for this is there's no coding involved, and the cons would be there'll be obviously SaaS fees. You're fundamentally okay. That's one thing. There are SaaS fees. Okay, you have to pay every month. Then you have to pay like per transaction. They'll force you to pay 4% per sale. For me, if I build my own tech stack, I can choose. I can use 4% is damn expensive. I'll use PayPal, it's cheaper. I'll use Stripe, it's cheaper. Or I'll use like the Malaysian ones, which is way cheaper. So you've got to decide for yourself, right? So SaaS fees, you're fundamentally learning a tool. So here, I learn to code, I can get a job. Here, I learn to code, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. But here, I'm learning to use Bubble. If something happens to Bubble, I'm back to square one. I am a nobody. I can't do anything. And there's not enough Bubble jobs out there. There are Bubble jobs out there, but very, very small again. Okay, I'm learning a tool. If the tool is gone, I'm screwed. I don't have a fundamental skill. Outside of this tool, in case your startup has some issues building with this tool, for example, they say, oh, sorry, you are not allowed to integrate with API just because I said, OpenAI's API, just because I said so. That's it. That's it. You can't go anywhere further from that. You have no other choice, right? And then you start from scratch all over again. And this could be you 1 month in. You never know. So there are some platform-based limitations. For this, there's no limitation. And the biggest con for me, in my opinion, is going to be vendor lock-in, because you will be stuck on your platform if they decide to change the pricing. Now it's $99 per month. Next month, they say, sorry guys, we want to go enterprise now. We want to sell to bigger companies, $200 per month. What are you going to do now? Right? I faced this before and I freaking hated it. And in fact, that's why I learned to code myself, because I don't want to be tied on the platform. And plus, your database is all there. You can't just migrate everything out. You cannot. You're kind of screwed. So this is good to start, but know that to make it long term, it's something that maybe can also, but I wouldn't recommend personally. Okay, next would be, okay, so we went from favorite tech stack to no code. Now, what about the in-between? You have Software and Airtable. I use Airtable for all of my internal operations, right? I can literally build so many things with Airtable. It's so powerful. If you ask me, I would say Airtable is worth learning because it's like Google Sheets on steroids, right? All these Bubble and Flutterflow, it's not really so worth learning. It's like, okay, it's very specific use cases, but Airtable can be applied to everywhere. Think about whatever platform you have been using so far with, with time tracking, with taking attendance, with getting approvals for submission forms, for everything. You can literally build an entire startup with Airtable, but it's a little bit technical, but you can do it without code. And now with ChatGPT, you can even better, they'll guide you how to do it, right? Then software for the front end, back end, use Airtable, right? I personally, because you see, with normal code tech stacks, right, the back end is hosted in the developer's world, which if I am a marketeer, I don't know how to access all these things. I don't know how to integrations or whatever. I'm a bit stuck. But when it comes to low code tools, all the data, in fact, for me now, when I build things here, right, my favorite tech stack, every data I get, I still integrate it into Airtable so I can do so many automations. If the student do this, then do that. If this, then I can send an email automation. Whatever it is, Airtable allows you to do so many integrations for you, and so powerful. And my marketeers can do it. I don't need my developers to do it. So yeah, this is same thing. It's flexible. The pros is flexible, but cons again, SaaS fees and your. Okay, this is a bit false, but yeah, it's similar to the no code tech stack. I'll still go for this one. Okay, now this is 2024 and AI is a big thing now, so I need to address this, right? Because everyone is thinking, right? there is no clear winner in this niche yet, AI tech stack. I've seen people build tech startups themselves with just AI. I have built several products myself with just AI, but I have some coding knowledge. But it's still very new. But for now, this is the winner. V0 with what do you call it? Vercel, V0 with Vercel. Then you got cursor, and there's Claude and Rapid. You can literally build an entire tech stack with just this thing over here. It's really powerful. The pros is very little coding knowledge needed, and the pros also is there's little bit that there is some form of what do you call it, vendor lock-in, but you still have access to the code base. You can shift later on, right? The cons to this, I would say, what was the cons again? The cons is still some form of vendor lock-in because you're still stuck to their cloud databases. So it's vendor lock-in, but smaller vendor lock-in. Okay. And also obviously you have to pay a fee for it. So up to you what you want to choose. But for me, I will always stick to the basics because my team is there already. I can build so much faster with this, and there's no limitation and not much fees. But I would say if you want to go into the development path, this is something. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
And today,
I'll speed it up. Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to code with cursor in a terminal. I'm going to say new terminal and one click like that. And then I go to B. And look, I need to say hello. I want this to say Harry Potter instead. And then if I do that, then it will basically have some code, and I will apply it. I'm going to do a tab, and then look, now it says Harry Potter. So now I'm going to say, put Harry Potter in the next. Oh. Now, press send. Now I'm going to do this, which I'm going to apply, which adds it to it, and changes the code that needs to be. Refresh, look, it's in the middle, and that's a really good one. And a text box. Now this. Apply it something. It's going to expect code from. And then, so, I wanted to say Charlie instead of your stuff. Look, it says right there. Now I'm going to say, and it won't work. So we need to make it. And there for person to cover the thing, and then we'll do all the stuff. So you can't do it if it's not finished, but it just work. So now I'm gonna save it. So now I'm gonna say, hi, Wiki, hi there, I'm Harry James Potter. And I have
So should you keep doing this until?
Now this is good. Now when I say from the background, can you now then so hi, and then it will say blah 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 blah. Yes. Yes. Then it will say tap. Now I'm going to go to my favorite. This is how it's favorite here, and then start chat. I'm going to say, showing my view. I'm going to save, look. So I'll do this, and I'm going to show you so I can say hi, and then it's going to say, that's weird to do. You have to put it. That's it for this video, and
there we go. So you get a good idea of how it works with the AI tech stack. So she is using the V0 cursor stack right now. So I would say this is great, but same thing, right? It's all code, so you have to be very free from engineering. But I'm not saying it's impossible. This is the future for software development, I would say.
hello.
Okay. So now that that's that, we are coming here to the end. We are understanding what is a product vision board. So understanding the problem you're solving, understanding your solution, I would say the next thing that you need to have is just follow this template, fill this out. What is your purpose? Why do you want to exist, right? Doing a startup is tough. It's really difficult. Why want to do it? I'd rather just go to a beach and chill, or I'd rather get a job. Whatever skills you have, just get a job, get paid very well for it. Why you want to build a startup? Just go and do service, help people do like me, right? I'm running a school and I'm also doing software projects. But for me, I really enjoy product. That's why eventually I will go back to products. So for you guys, it's to have this vision board template that startups use most of the time. You need to have this to understand that what's the change you want to see in the world, a bigger purpose, so people understand you at one glance, right? What's the target group? Who are you solving it for, right? Just now you mentioned you want to do auto PCs, for example. Who? Malaysians only? Foreigners? Who are you solving it for? The needs. What problem does it solve? And we covered this already, right? Then next thing will be the product. What product is it? How hard is it to make this product? How do you stand out on this product, right? How feasible is it even to do it in the first place? Then finally, your business goals, right? Are you here to make $10,000 per month? Are you here to make $100,000 per month? Right? Are you here to exit the company? Are you here to build a legacy where your kids can take over? Are you here to build the next Apple? What is your goal? Is it just to pay bills for you and your family to live a simple life? What is your goal? The goal is so important because only when you have a goal do you know where to go. And if you don't have a goal, you will never be happy. Let's put it that way. Okay, so always have a goal. Okay, so I don't want to scare anyone here, but I introduced like 5 tools just now, 10 tools maybe. But look, this is the entire stack of a product manager, right? You see Airtable is over here. You see Microsoft Clarity, which is the same as Hotjar, Google Analytics, Mixpanel, Loom. I personally use literally, I would say 90% of everything here, I do use it myself. So as a product manager, you not only need to be a merge of the business side and the UI UX side and the developer side. Remember the first slide, one of the first slides I showed you? You not only need to be that, you also need to be very good at learning these tools. And trust me, if everything fails and everything crashes and burns, right? Your startup fails, no one buys your product, whatever, right? But you end up learning all these tools to a proficient level, you know how to use it. Trust me, companies will pay you good money to just build stuff for them with these tools. Because right now, I can say this a lot, right? Some of the companies are paying us 7 figures to build a lot of things that I know they can use these tools. I know myself. I do tell them, I was like, why do you want to build this? Most of the time, these companies, they want ownership because they're big. They're like 500 million and above in revenue. So for them, it's like, well, I'll just pay you 1 million, right? But I would say for me and for most of smaller size companies who are forward moving, forward thinking, fast kind of thing, just use all these tools over here and you can go very, very far, right? From Gmail to Slack to Notion to Linear. I use another version of Linear. It's like a copycat of Linear. Linear is very big in Y Combinator now. Everyone is using it now. Check it out. I use it for my entire team. I use this called space.so, right? Similar to Linear. Figma here, Miro, right? Twitter, I use Twitter as well. Reddit, Product Hunt. Everything here, Canva, right? Microsoft Clarity, which is the same as Hotjar. Airtable, right? Yeah, there's a lot of things basically. All these things that you can use and I do use on daily basis. So take a picture of this or whatever. So everything here is good. Now, similar web, right? Webalizer, every website you go, you know what is the tech stack that they use, right? Similar web, you can understand, okay, I want to build an auto thesis generator. Do I have a competitor in the market? Great, maybe you do, maybe you don't, I don't know. But maybe you have an American competitor. Go and see his website. What is the traffic he gets? If he gets 5 billion websites, okay, not billion, that's crazy, right? Get 1 million views per month, and you get 2 views per month. You know something is damn off, and you can do something about it. Maybe you can go and see what are their keywords they're ranking and try and compete with them, right? Keyword research, SEMrush, you can use, but this is paid lah, right? So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. And as a product manager, if you can understand not just your product, but the whole ecosystem of products, you will be very, very, very highly in demand in the market. Because just using these tools is a full-time job. Trust me that. I used to hire a guy who is so good with all these things. And after he left, it's so hard to find a replacement for this because it takes an inner drive for you to want to learn these things. Universities don't cover these things. Let's put it that way. No one really covers these things in detail. So you need to learn yourself. And that act of learning to learn is the most important thing in your startup journey. Okay, so this one I will skip through this because this is just a normal product roadmap and it's quite straightforward. Basically, it's your typical Kanban board in startups. You go from your backlog, what you want to build next, then to your to-do, to your in progress to done. I am using this in my company today. We manage a team of 20 people. We're all using it. So it's very, very, very big and messy. So for you guys, you can use something simple like Trello, for example. It's free, good to start. Whatever you want to build, put in your backlog. Whatever that your developers or you are doing now, put on your to-do list. And whatever is your to-do later. Sorry, backlog is when you plan to do it. To-do is you plan to do it soon. In progress is you're doing it now, and done means done. Okay, so for me, my company, we have a few more columns, but this in the big gist of it will cover 99% of your use cases, right? And it also helps you centralize communication in one place. You don't have to ask, hey, Johnson, what are you doing? You don't have to ask all these kind of things. You can see over here, and when Johnson gets his stuff done, he will just put his link there, he can validate it, and it's done. Everything's good.
Can you please explain again the term backlog?
Backlog is what you want to build in the future. So for example, I want to integrate my tool to Shopify or to Shopee, for example, but I don't need it now. Maybe 3 years later, it'd be nice, right? For example, I want to add in AI to my software, right? And it takes a long time to integrate it. So I don't want to do it now. Maybe I can do it in 2 years in the future. So I just throw it in the backlog first. Don't think about it. I know it once, so I don't know where to put it, right? Where do I put it? I want to integrate AI. Where should I put it? Put it right? Maybe you forget it. So just throw it there. And then the product manager will decide, okay, you know what? This feature, it's about time. Let's bring it up. Then put it to to-do. Then your developer will see, okay, to-do is what you will do. Depending on your company, for me, my company, to-do means things that you plan to do by this week. So your to-do will be things you plan to do this week, and then in progress, and then done. For me, I've started, because I have a team of 20, right? So I sometimes when our team says done, it's not really done. I need to get the task. So I will have a column here called pending review, where they can put it in the pending review first, and only when it's done, only I or my partner can drag it to done. Okay, so this whole thing is a whole different conversation, but let's move on. Okay, we're coming to an end. Some books that I really recommend you guys to read: $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan. Noah Kagan is one of the first hires in Facebook. He got fired by Facebook. I think because he did something wrong, but he's a very big creator now, and his famous book is called $1 Million Weekend. I'll give you a TLDR, right? Move extremely fast, which is what I echoed from him just now, right? Cash in the bank on day one itself. Whatever you can do, you can bring cash in the bank on day one. Things can't be that bad. Okay, it can be as simple as, you want to get this idea running. I'm sure you have friends. Can you this weekend itself call your friend and ask your friend to pay you $1? That's it. Get cash in the bank from day one itself to validate the idea. Don't have to wait so long. Next thing, small and lean teams, minimal resources to maximize innovation. And next thing will be iteration and feedback over everything else. Because nothing else matters besides your customers' iteration and feedback. Okay, so this is number one. Number two is Atomic Habits, right, by James Clear. This book literally transformed my life to building structure, to understanding that nothing is impossible, to understanding that life is like a game, right? You're trying to level up every single day. If something is difficult for you today, great. It just means you're learning, right? If it's easy, it means you're not learning. Remember, Jensen Huang says you must struggle, right? So TLDR of this, be 1% better every day. After 1 year, you'll be like 3 to 4 times better than who you are today. Always learn and improve yourself, because I know that if you have this, whatever I shared earlier doesn't matter anymore, because you will figure things out yourself. I'm just another guy on the internet. I'm just another guy sharing information, right? If you learn this skill of learning and improving yourself, you will be able to go very far regardless of what you do, right? Next thing will be to understand that small wins compound like crazy over time. So back in days, I last time I used to suck at running, right? But after forcing myself to just run 10 minutes a day, now it became routine for me. I can run a lot longer, and I don't struggle so much anymore. So Atomic Habits is second book. The third one I would recommend you guys, in specifically because of this topic that we're talking about today, would be The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Okay, the understanding the build, measure, and learn cycle. So build is what we discussed just now. Measure is what we discussed about analytics, right? And learn, which is a feedback loop that I mentioned just now as well, right? Understanding your data. So you build your thing, measure, do people use it, do people sign up for it, understand all the metrics to your data based on tools like Hotjar, Microsoft Clarity, Google Analytics, which I shared just now, and then learn from the data and make changes, right? Again, this is something I'm very strict with my team. Do not give me fake data. Every data that we get must be real, because if it's fake data, you're wasting your time, you're wasting my time. Use only real data. Don't use any forms of assumptions. Don't assume things. Use real data, okay? And from the data that you get, okay, you decide yourself whether your business, what's wrong with your business, right? Is it because people don't want to use it? Is it because there's no market for it, or is it because you need to add certain features to make it good, right? So whether to pivot or to persevere will be entirely based on the market's feedback. Okay, so this is from Lean Startup. So let's play a simple game. Now, let's we need. Oh, actually, I think we can scan this one. Oh, scan. Let me try. Okay. For a wrap up, just to see if you guys have been focusing. No choice. I run a coding school, right? So I don't do the teaching anymore, but I have to make sure that our instructors keep it engaging, keep it light, keep it fun. Okay. Everybody online as well, come and join us in this game. Come scan the QR code and put in the game pin. You can feel free to use your real name or use a fake name so no one knows who you are. Up to you. Mira, how many should we expect in this room? 20? Yeah. Oh shit, I think we need 10. Maybe one from each style can. Yeah. Yeah, can we do, sorry guys, I think the room, hey, can continue. I bet. Okay, we have 15 people. Let's wait 5 more. Come on. One more. One more. Come on, maybe 20. Oh shit, you got that. Come on, guys, one more. Maybe Amira, you can join us, so make it 20. Okay, oh, we got it. Amira, you want to join us all? Yeah, I'll start in 30 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna start in 5. Oh yeah, Amira's here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's get it. Hey, Beautiful got prize for winner now. Okay, demo day. Wow, good job, Gideon. Very tricky. Very, very tricky. Okay, come on. Most valuable player. No one chose the most valuable player. Ooh, let's go. Zoo and Dan chasing up. Startup pitch deck, yeah? You need to do this in your demo day, right? Oh, GDN on fire. What does an API stand for? Wow, not bad. Hey, what does the VC stand for? You know watch this show?
Yeah, I watched
You watched it? Yeah, this show inspired me to learn how to code actually. Wow, okay. Combo breaker. Let's go.
Really tricky. Really handles again.
Yeah.
Good question.
Oh, trick question. There's multiple answers on this one. So investment companies are not considered angels. Angels are mostly they call it the three Fs, right? Friends, families, and fools.
So angels are more intelligent.
Yes, very early stage angel investors. Like if you have a startup and I invest in you, I'm an angel, right? But for Beyond 4 and for these accelerators, they are not angels. Correct. Okay. Last one. Wrong. Sorry, Malaysia startup.
Why is it Malaysia?
Malaysia startup, Malaysia. Not sure. Come on, man. Got a Malaysian pride, you know? Wow. Shit. My bad. The answer is wrong, actually. The answer is droppy. So here I want to show you because we actually don't know a lot of our Malaysian startup. These guys were selected to Y Combinator, the number one accelerator in the whole world. It's so hard to get in, right? They got in. I know the founder. And Food Panda is actually a lot of the companies we know. Yes, German. They were German. They brought it here. They copied it here. So yeah, sorry, this is wrong already. But okay. Number 3, who's this? Jim Simons. Dan, good job. This. Good job.
Who are these guys?
Who are these people? Review yourself. I don't know who you
Who's
are.
Lin? Who's Dan? Who's Jim
Amira, ask them to review.
I have no idea who these are.
Hey, who's Dan? Come, guys, come. Review yourself. You're winners.
Lin is me, but I think my last answer is actually wrong, right?
Yeah.
I answered BitCup.
Yeah, you got it.
It's okay. Halal. Okay.
Okay, we're wrapping up already. So let me just load up this page again. Why is it so slow? Second, guys, 1 second. Okay, actually, so much work to just show you a that's all slide. Okay, that's all. So it's question time, guys. Any questions that you want to ask? Can be anything.
Any suggestion on database?
Databases. So his question was any suggestion on databases, depending on the type of the company you're running, obviously. But for me, I usually just go with Supabase. That's it. And for cloud databases, I go with Google Cloud instead of AWS because it's just so much easier. Yeah.
This plan is much more possible.
They're all pretty much the same. If you want, you can just go with Supabase. I think Supabase can cover a lot for the cheapest plan. Supabase is like Firebase, but like the alternative. You know it, huh? Okay, any other questions?
Hi, Mr. Darren. I have
Hello.
a question.
Yes.
Okay. Currently, we have launched our product into market. Since it's a diabetic management app, the initial pilot testers are our own university staff. So we have launched the product and we have launched the basic version. So the basic version includes the basic users logging, the education resources to Malaysian education cuisine, and then that's all lah. So now the problem is their patients are using, but they are not using it regularly. So we add them in a WhatsApp group, and then we need to remind them regularly. And then myself personally will text them personally to sign up and then to log in. So how do we ensure the stickiness of our app for this kind of thing, Mr.
That's a
Darren?
very good one, Kamalesh. So one thing that I want to say is if you look at Instagram, do they need to ask you to use it? If you look at LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever tool you use or WhatsApp, do you have someone coming up to you asking you to use it? No, right? So the point here is at the very root level, it means that you're not really solving a problem yet. And that's exactly the same thing I faced in my startups. I built this whole thing. I have to beg them to use it, right? Just because it's free doesn't mean they'll use it because you're using their valuable time. For them, they could just scroll TikTok. Why would they want to use your app, right? So fundamentally, number one, it's your UI UX needs to be better. The problem you're solving, you have to go deeper into it. Understand why are these people not using my app? Okay, there's no hack to it. You need to understand why. Ask them why. Don't ask me. I can't solve this for you. You gotta ask them why are you not using it more? And yes, maybe in the early days, for example, Stripe, right? Stripe, the payment platform, there are billions of dollars now. For example, even Grab, right? In their early days, they had to go up to taxi drivers one by one to use their app. So it's fine. But the problem is if you ask them to use and they don't continue using, why? This is a question that it's not a UI UX fix. UI UX is a you need a good one, but are you solving a problem? That's what you need to know. Ask them.
All right, Mr. Darren, thank you.
Do you have an MVP or you're just wasting?
So our question is, how do you know if you have an MVP or you're just wasting money? Are you solving, like I said, what is the definition of MVP is now? Minimum means it's there but it cannot work. Viable means it's an end product already. Minimum viable means to combine that and build just enough. So anything that is not just enough, I would find that as wasting money.
So by that definition, so if we have an MVP but it's not, let's say, attractive enough for others to use, but there's like trickles of people that is using, it's just not the mass that we're targeting. Then at which of the cycle should we go back and
okay, so your question was if you have an MVP, I'm just repeating. So if you have an MVP and it's not reaching mass market, but it's solving a small subsection of your target audience, when do you know when to go back to drawing board and rethink your idea, right? That's why, for me, in my opinion, there's no right or wrong. Okay, this is a very subjective question, but I would say good job that you have your initial base of customers. Very good job. I think it's not easy also. And it's good. You know why? Because the question I asked just now, one of the very first slides was, what's the problem you're solving? And if the problem that you're solving is for the small subset of market, what's wrong with that? Right now, there's a market called vertical SaaS. You can Google this vertical SaaS, where they say, I'm building XYZ software for a particular audience. For example, building a CRM for dentists, building a email marketing platform for gyms, vertical SaaS. So they're not aiming for big market. They're aiming for just their exact target audience. And in your case, I don't know who are the ones that you're targeting later on, but focus on, it's good. Maybe, in my opinion, maybe it's good that you're focusing on the small guys. Make them very, very happy first, because they are the ones who will fund your growth to the next level. For example, when I first started Sigma School, right, our early members are those who are unemployed. They are so damn desperate. They need a job now. Like if they can get it tomorrow, they'll pay good money for it. Their parents pay for them, right? And only after that, we had a bit more funds to. I'm not complaining. Oh, why are 19-year-olds not joining me? I'm not complaining. I'm seeing it as a game to solve. But in the journey to solve this equation to get 19-year-olds to join me, I'm going to survive until I get that. Right. So the ones who I'm truly solving a problem for, they will be ones funding me on this journey. Yeah. So don't worry. TLDR. Don't worry about the mass market first. Right. Paul Graham says do things that don't scale. Make sure you get 100 loyal customers. Is better than 1,000 customers who don't care if you exist. But first, question yourself: are your 100 customers loyal? Will they rate you out of 8 out of 10? If they're not, then don't even think about your thousands or your mass market. Get your inner group of people very happy, very, very, very happy. Yeah. Does that solve your question? Okay, let's take one more question before we wrap up.
Just throw questions. Is there a situation where you call your product well developed? There will be no time that you can consider your product well studied.
That's a very good question. So his question was, is there a situation where you call your product well developed, or you will never really be well developed? I would say, obviously, you will reach a point where you're well developed at some point, but that's probably when you are very, very far ahead. So as for today, you are never done. Let's put it that way. The journey always continues. The question is, what are the tractions you can secure on each stage? Imagine, so I talk from the perspective of a bootstrapper. For me, it's how can I solve my first 100 customers very, very, very well? Then only I start increasing the thing slowly and slowly. It will never be perfect, because the moment it's perfect, it means you're not growing. The fact that things are breaking, it means you're shipping. You know, when Twitter, Elon Musk bought Twitter, now they've added Grok, they've added AI features, they've added so many things. And the tool started breaking. There were bugs on Twitter and everything, which in my opinion, is a good thing. It means they're innovating. It means they're building. It means they're trying new things. When things in our early stage, things need to break. If it's not breaking, it just means that you are not trying enough. Yeah. So you'll never, to answer your question, you'll never get to a stable state unless it's that time in your journey to do it. Maybe you've already secured funding. Your customers are very happy already. Then okay, sure.
Is it okay for early stage to pivot?
Of course. Yes, you have to pivot if, like I said, the problem thing, you feel like you've done so many things to validate your idea, but you couldn't validate it. I think that I'm trying to solve auto thesis provider for, let's say, local Malaysian universities, local only, and for PhD people who are aged 35 to 45. This is your very specific target audience that you hope, based on your assumption and your hypothesis, that they will be your top, let's say, 100 loyal customers. And it turned out to flop. They're like, hey, don't want. That's where you're like, okay, even my core people don't want me. What's wrong? Go back to the drawing board, think again. Am I solving the wrong people, or is my solution wrong? Or even better, ask those people, I know you're struggling with this. Why don't you want to use me? Ask them. Unless then they say, I'm not struggling also. Then you know something is wrong. Or if they say that they are struggling and you have the solution, look, you want a burning fire on your hair problem. You heard of that concept, right? If a problem is painful enough, if I put fire on your hair right now, right, you'll be, oh, you want to get it off, right? If I give you a brick now, you won't buy the brick from me to clear the fire from me. Even a brick will help you solve that issue, right? So you want a problem that's so good that people will pay money for it. Yeah. So yes, if you cannot solve it, if the problem isn't there, then you must pivot. Otherwise, you're going through you're wasting your time and your money. Okay, so yeah, that was some pivoting. Anything else? Okay. Anyways, I will share with you my LinkedIn and also give me feedback, please. So here's my LinkedIn. Do scan my link and connect with me on LinkedIn. And please take 1 minute to give me feedback. Remember, I am a big fan of 1% improvement. I know right now, I rarely do a lot of sharings nowadays. So I always want to get feedback on how I can become 1% better. Or if you can give any brutally honest feedback that may harm my ego, go ahead. Because I want to improve, right? Because if I can improve for you, I can improve for future sessions. And overall, that makes me a better person. And everyone else will benefit. So please take 1 minute to give me a feedback. Thank you. Set like a minute timer. Okay, I think that should be it. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you so much for your time. I hope I was just a little bit helpful for you in your building journey. I know building startups is scary, especially when you are in your early days. You don't know if this is gonna work. Your friends and family are like, "What are you doing? Go and get a job," right? It's tough. It's really tough. But if you make it work, I can tell you it's a fun journey. So step one is to make money first. If you can get some cash flow in, it will help you increase your runway and also it will reduce maybe your peer pressure. Some people mind a lot. I think for me, I'm still quite chill on that side, but I know people, a lot of them who quit because of peer pressure, their girlfriends judging them, their friends judging them, everyone's judging them, they don't get respected. So the first thing you can do is you can find a way to quickly pay yourself a decent basic salary or some cash flow or fundraise that will help you go very far. Okay, with that said, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed.
Amira, closing.
Yes. Thank you so much, Derek, and thank you so much to everyone for joining.